All right, I think we're live. There we go. Sup, ladies and gentlemen, Akalon here, and welcome back. Wow, it is good to be back. It is fucking wonderful to be back here. I it was touch and go there for a minute, but if you're watching this over on YouTube, please remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and also click the link in the description down below. It is always better when it's live. Always, every single time. Hopefully the PC doesn't give any shit. Hopefully things work. Let's just quickly set up a couple of things here whilst we're waiting, because what am I missing? There's a couple of things that I'm missing, actually. Just want to make sure. Manage polls, please. Don't care about any of that. Maybe add that. Yeah, sure. Add that and add that. That should be good. And then add this. There we go. All right, that should be good. Let's hope the people actually show up. I haven't been live in like weeks, dude. So it is strange, to say the very fucking least. Very strange to finally be back. Right, that should be. Wait, what the fuck's going on? Oh, never mind, it's posted. Luna, how you doing? SPJ, how you doing, brother? Welcome back to each one of you. I'm so fucking happy to finally be back. You have no idea. It feels so good to be able to stream. So fucking good. Mr. Smokin, how you doing, brother? Matkin, how you doing? Welcome back, dude. Thank you very much for the first time chat at Twitch. Happy to have you here, man. It's good to be back, ladies and gentlemen. It's very, very good to be back. Fucking hell, that was loud. Hold up, need to change that quickly. Let's move that down. That was fucking loud. Okay, that should be good. That should be good. CDJ, Mickey Moto, comrades, thank you very much for the redistribution of wealth. I promise to use your money well. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, we'll see if the PC fucking holds up, right? We'll see. Calio, how you doing? Thank you very much for the first time chat. Really appreciate that. Orcane, Blue Fairy, how's everyone doing? Man, it feels good. Cocky Cup Pro, how you doing, brother? It feels so good to be back. You guys have no fucking clue how good it feels to be back. Just almost 2 weeks of not being able to stream, of not having a PC. That was actually the worst part of it. Like, do you have any idea how boring life is without a PC? Minions1, how you doing, brother? I had to resub while you were offline again. Mr. Smokin, I really appreciate the sub, brother. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Very much appreciate all of you guys giving me your money. It really helps. Calio, thank you for the follow, man. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's just quickly see here. Oh, Alex is sending me messages. Let me just check. Berserker, how you doing, brother? Acklon, finally we're back. Hey, dude, I'm happy to be back. CDJ, thank you for the 100 bits, dude. Really appreciate that. Why I'm awake? What is this nonsense? Shay, you're awake because you want to hang out. You want to hang out, and I'm not going to take that away from you at all. By the way, what's the mic sound like? Good? Not so good? Do I have to change a couple of things on the mic? What's sucking is that everything that I've just done, all of the setup that I've just done, will have to be done again in about a week. I'm basically gonna reset my PC as soon as I get my RAM back. Oh my god, guys. As soon as people are here, I'll tell you about it. It was a fucking nightmare, bro. My PC drove me up the wall. I was about ready to sell my PC, dude. I was just like, I was at my wit's end. There was just the point where I was like, no, fuck it. I can't do this anymore. I'm just gonna sell it. Fuck it. I don't care. Fuck this PC. Blasphemous Crow, how you doing, brother? Anyway, as long as the mic sounds fine, I'm happy with that. Just downloading a video here for the main channel. Alex just finished this. Blah, 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 blah. There we go. Okay. Fuck, I feel so out of practice with all this shit. And I'm not out of practice. I mean, how can you be out of practice with uploading videos? Shouldn't be that hard, right? Flipe, how you doing, brother? Thank you for the first time chat. Really appreciate that. It's actually my first time I managed to catch you on the stream. Greetings from Austria. Ooh, a virgin. A fucking virgin in the chat. We're going to have some fun with you, brother. Shiny Ones, how you doing, bro? Thank you for the first time chat. Really appreciate that. Sound of it is all good, bro. I'm happy to hear that. So far, no problems. The stream seems to be going fucking well. I'm not having any drop frames. I'm not getting sort of encoder issues, which is, by the way, how all of this fucking started. Bjornson, how you doing, bro? Thank you for the first time chat. Really appreciate that. Ascension, how you doing? How's the house hunt going? Pretty good. We've got 2 houses that is potentially kind of locked. I'll show you guys. I'll show you what the houses look like in a bit. Like, I'll show you which houses we're looking at currently that we might move to. Long time no see. Been ages since I last saw you stream. It's been ages since I've last fucking streamed, bro. I've been AFK for about a week and a half now. Been watching YouTube stuff for a little while. This is the first time I called you live. How many people are here for the first time today? Galio, comrade. Thank you so much for the prime sub, brother. Really fucking appreciate that. Really fucking appreciate the man. I need to get back in action. Really appreciate that, bro. The redistributed funds will be used wisely, I promise. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I didn't charge my phone though. I'll have to be back in an hour. Shay, take care of yourself. Thank you much for hanging out. Is there on par with your dream house you showed us before? One of them's pretty fucking awesome. Like, look, we've had like dogs in Cape Town is a bitch, right? Getting houses that actually allow for dogs is almost impossible in Cape Town. Some of it has to do with the laws in Cape Town, like the Cape Town government, and they're making out that this is not your first time here. Go fuck yourself. But some of the laws here, fucking wait, I was talking about something else. Guys, stop distracting me. St. John, thank you very much for the 98, bro. Really appreciate that. So for new people here, strap in, right? Get ready. If you're easily offended, maybe this is not the stream for you. This is things get pretty degenerate pretty fast here. So if that's something that you're not on board with, if you thought you were going to be joining, some weird cult-like stream where people are all nice and smiling and everything is just great, this is not it. This is not that stream. In this stream, I am constantly at odds with chat. Chat is not just a little degenerate. To be fair, I think the FBI should monitor my chat for basically everything that's wrong in this fucking world. I love you guys, but you are fucking crazy. Jason Raid, how you doing? Enoch, you motherfucker. How you doing, brother? You were recommended to me on YouTube, and ever since, I have been enjoying every video on both your channels. Keep it up. Then I'm happy you're here. Thank you very much for joining us. Luna, only you loathe me. Only you loathe me. But then again, I don't feel that bad because you loathe everything. So it's not the worst, right? Fruit under Zarago. I've been thinking on maybe giving Final Fantasy a try, and if I enjoy, I would love to play with you for that reason. I would like to know what server you are on. King Julian, fucking give it a go. Final Fantasy is so bloody good. I'm on... What server am I on again, guys? Oh my god, how you doing? I'm trying to remember. The reason we're not playing Final Fantasy, by the way, today is because I have load shedding in about 2 hours. So there's no point in... Gilgamesh, that's the one. On the Ether data center, I think. But Gilgamesh. I have load shedding in 2 hours. So we're going to be hanging out. And then I'm going to sit with no electricity for the night. Have a romantic evening in, I suppose, with myself and my phone. Fuck it. Let's call it a romantic evening in. I despise everything. Loathing is a step further. Oh, shit. So you loathe me. You don't just despise me. Jesus, Lou. Now that hurts. That hurts. Vanapier, brother. Thank you so much for the Prime sub, dude. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Cool, they are already watching us. We are the most degenerate fuckers on Twitch, and I love it that way. I would not exchange this chat for anything in this world. Zakimi, how you doing? Heavens, what? This game is nuts. Don't fucking spoil it for me. I haven't played in so fucking long. Let's hit the stab, eh? You can't dodge it. Truth. Truth. But the fact that you're trying so hard to hurt my feelings means something to me. It really hits me right in the feels. First the back, I swear, giant rat guy, go fuck yourself. Just take this one for yourself. Hold up. Guys, you're fucking distracting me. I have work to do. We have work to do, chat. What do you think this is? You guys can just hang out and sort of relax? No, we've got work to do. This is why we're fucking here. Bentley, thanks for the follow, dude. Really appreciate that. When I'm done with my WoW stuff, I will give it a try. Echo, dude, you're gonna love Final Fantasy. Hopefully in the worst ways. Jesus. Will you have load shedding at your new house, bro? Ascension, yes. But my current plan is to move to Cape Town, right? So I'm moving to Cape Town, and then within the next 6 months, I'm buying a house. Don't want anything elaborate or massive or anything. I just need a house. The reason being, by the way, who just dead wreck. Thanks for the Prime sub, brother. Really appreciate that, comrade. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are really fucking pushing that hype train, aren't you? That's fine. Give me all your money. I like your money. I appreciate it. Bentley, give me your money as I fucking ask for it. Bro, that right there. Fucking love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you, man. No, I want to buy a house. And the only reason... if you asked me this a year ago, I would have said, fuck no. I've never been interested in owning a home. I don't see the point, to be fair, in owning a home. Ascension, thanks for the Prime sub, brother. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Gonna use all of your money to buy myself a house, so I really appreciate that. But no, I don't want a house, but I need to get off the grid. I genuinely need to get off the grid. I need to get solar panels up with batteries so that when load shedding happens, I'm not affected by it. The problem in South Africa is if you're just renting a house, most solar companies don't want to do that, right? We get a bit of a clap in chat for Ascension with the 5 community subs, dude. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Basically, I'm not interested in being a homeowner. The only reason I need a house is so that I can have the solar panels up. I genuinely don't give a fuck about owning a home. It's just not, like, I'm fine with renting. It's easier, because when I get bored, I can just fuck off, right? I don't need to, I'm not tied down. But yeah, I can't get solar panels up, and it's getting worse. It's fucking getting worse. Zucchini! Comrade, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Really appreciate that. 11 months you've been redistributing that wealth. Is wind power out of the question for less sunny days? I don't think you can do wind power at a home. Can you? Like, those things are massive. That'd be weird. Alex, how you doing, bro? Roseburg, how you doing? Alex, by the way, can we get some hearts in chat for Alex? Alex just found out he needs to move again. Why do you have to move this time, bro? But I was just wondering, have you had the vaccine? The reason I'm asking is I just found out the other day from December 17, you're in Australia. I can't go anywhere besides the grocery store or catching a bus unless No, I've not been vaccinated. I genuinely don't even know where I would go to get that. I don't know anything about COVID in my country. I don't know how many people are infected. I don't know how many people end up in the hospital. I don't have a fucking clue. I don't care. Unless someone magically appears in my fucking studio and coughs all over me, I think I'm good, right? So far, there's been no evidence that COVID can travel through walls. There's no one here. It's just me, right? Oh, all right, Alex, fine. Well, good luck to you, bro. Really good luck to you. Car alternator into a windmill ain't hard, but requires some electrician training. Yeah, I'm not an electrician. No, I think solar panel. Look, it's South Africa. There's always fucking sunny days in South Africa. We'll see. We'll see what I do, but I need to get off the grid. I can't stay on Eskom's grid. Things are getting worse. We're currently in stage 3, load shedding, right? Which means I'm offline today for 7.5 hours, right? That I will have no electricity. This is gonna go on. This has been going on for 2 weeks now, right? For 2 weeks now, I've had no electricity multiple times a day. Zucchini, thank you for the 200 bets. Really appreciate that. Thank you. So I've had no electricity. It's going to go on till Friday. On Friday, it's going to go to stage 2 load shedding, which means I'll be offline for 5 hours a day. Cask! You beautiful motherfucker. Thank you much for the sub, man. Thank you. Mr. Snubsby, how you doing, brother? So I have to, it's going to go until Friday. Then from Friday until, according to them, Saturday, there'll be, I'll only be offline for five hours again a day. And then from Saturday, it will be lifted. They said that last Saturday. Last Saturday, they said, hey, we're only going to be load shedding until Saturday, and then it'll be over for a while. And then on Saturday, they stopped load shedding, and 5 hours later, they announced stage 4 load shedding. So it's continuously the same thing. We go without load shedding for a couple of days, right? Or a couple of weeks if you're lucky, and then they have to load shed again. I can't live like that. I can't work like that. I don't want to stream, right? Zucchini, thank you for the gifted sub. Really appreciate that. Can we get some love and chat for Zucchini and Ascension? Look, fuckers who actually decide to gift subs need love. All of the fucking hearts, motherfuckers. They are redistributing the wealth that the rest of you are not. Like, they're giving away the wealth. So, thank them. Nick, thank you for the tier 1 sub, brother. Really appreciate that. Thank you. So, no, I need to fuck off. By the way, for those of you that are new, the whole redistribution of wealth is a meme. If you were here about 3 weeks ago, you would know who we're memeing on. With the redistribution of wealth, just know that it's supposed to be a joke. Next month it's 3 years. You've been promising a 2-year badge for 2 years now. Got to do a 3-year now. Alex, are you still here? Chat is demanding things of you. Chat wants a 3-year badge and a 2-year badge. Actually, we need new badges. The coffee cups is sort of fucking outdated now. Don't you guys think? Actually, I think we should get, we should redo the stream entirely. Moni, how you doing, brother? This is not your fucking first time, bro. I think we should redo the entire stream overlay. And I know exactly what I want, Alex. I know exactly how I want to redo the theme. I want a communist theme. Like proper red with the sickle and everything. And then I want Vladimir Lenin, whenever people sub, to go, thank you, comrade. That's it. That's what I want. Like, I want a full-blown fucking communist overlay. I think that would be epic. I think that would be perfect. A hard emote would be cool. Oh, emotes is Furorious. I'll see what I can do with Furorious and emotes. But I just have this idea of a cartoon Vladimir Lenin and fucking, what's his name, Stalin. A proper cartoon just popping up and going, thank you, comrade. I don't know why, but that's funny as fuck to me. Shamanita, how you doing? On my phone at the moment, so I can't really write things down, so DM me the idea, Aka. Alex, I will do that. I'm joking about the communist thing. How many of you would actually prefer a communist overlay? Like, for how many of you would that be funny as shit?
You look like you've lost some weight. That's terrible.
Bentley, thank you very much for the 100 bits, brother. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fuck, people. I am... I need to upload a video. You keep distracting me, chat. Everyone go make yourself a fucking cup of coffee. I need to upload some videos. Actually, just one. Stop distracting me, chat. Jesus. This is worse than being on... Where the fuck's the video? Huh? Details? No. I don't... What? No. Sort by date. Got it. £1 a day keeps capitalism away. Communism isn't funny. It's funny as fuck, is it? I need coffee, Shamanita. I've got some right here. You know, what voice message? More an anarchist theme with different sounds every time, a different emote. Arcane. Bro. Alright, so let me first, before I get into the major story that I wanted to tell you guys today, because I've been reading this book, right? Because I had fuck all else to do, so I was reading. I went down a massive rabbit hole. I want to tell you guys about this book. This is insane, by the way. But, so my PC, yeah. Last week, I think it was last week Tuesday. Yeah, last week Tuesday, myself and Apocalypse sits down. We start to record the show. Yeah, like we do Monday actually. Like we do every Monday. No, it was Tuesday because I couldn't do it the Monday. Tuesday, yes. We're sitting down. We're recording the show for patrons, and about halfway through, my OBS crashes. It says encoder overload. The encoder can't overload. I have a 3080. There's no way the encoder gets overloaded, right? It says encoder overload, the entire PC crashes. The podcast is lost because it's not saved on my end. The sad part is that Apocalypse doesn't record my fucking audio, so there's no contingency plans. So it's lost, right? Reginald, thank you for the $5, bro. Thank you. Really appreciate that, man. So I'm devastated. I tried to switch. I hard shut down the PC because it will not shut down. Load it back up. Everything keeps crashing now. Literally every single thing. I'm trying to open a file, right? It crashes. I tried to go into one of my hard drives. It crashes. Everything just fucking keeps crashing. I'm like, okay, I need to do a full reset. Something went wrong, right? Do the full reset. It doesn't work. It literally crashes as soon as I get into a brand new Windows. It crashes. It will not fucking work. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with this PC? So I'm literally the whole evening until like 3 a.m. I'm taking my PC apart. I'm looking for the problem. I'm trying to figure out if it is a hardware problem. What kind of hardware problem could it be? Eventually, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm done. I love building PCs, but I despise troubleshooting them. So the next morning, I take my PC to there's a PC shop just up the road from me. I take my PC there. The guy pretends to know more than what the fuck he knows. For example, his first sort of response to me is that it's my power supply that's broken. I'm like, why? And he's like, the fan doesn't spin on the power supply. I'm like, yes, motherfucker, because the fan wouldn't spin if it's not hot. You literally just switched on the PC. It's 1,000-watt power supply. It's not going to get overloaded by being switched on, right? Anyways, he goes to the PC, runs a bunch of tests, takes him almost the whole day. I'm not filled with confidence at this point that this guy can find the fucking problem. He finally phones me back, and he's like, by the way, it's your RAM. I'm like, what do you mean it's the RAM? He says he's running tests on the RAM, and it's throwing errors. I'm like, okay, fine. So now I have to RMA the RAM, yeah? So I contact the company that I bought the RAM from originally, arrange pickup. They send out a courier to pick up the RAM. the RAM's off. This happened yesterday, just for reference. It took about 4 days to get them to finally send out, because they kept saying to me, it can't be the RAM. And this is why I eventually said, okay, fuck it, I'll do it myself. Downloaded MemTest 86, ran the RAM tests, right? I first did it with all 4 RAM sticks included, all 64 gigs of RAM. Crazy errors. Within the first 10 seconds, 500 and something errors, right? Being thrown out in MemTest. And I go, okay, fine. Let's start testing them, because it's a dual kit. So it was 2 kits with 2 each. And I thought to myself, maybe one of the kits is broken and the other 2 is fine, right? Which means I don't have to give away my RAM. You know, big brain theory time. So I test the first 2 sticks, of RAM. 233 errors within the first second. Like, as the test starts, it throws out 233 errors. I'm like, fuck. Okay, no problem. So this one is definitely broken, right? Remove that RAM. Now, just keep in mind, right? I have a Noctua cooler, tower cooler, yeah? I have to remove this thing. This thing is a pain in the fucking ass to remove, right? I have to remove this thing every single time I want to remove the RAM. Every time, because you can't get to the RAM with this giant fucking cooler in the way, yeah? So I remove it, and then I put it back, and then I remove it, and then I put it back. I'm fucking driving myself crazier. But okay, so I take out those 2 RAM sticks, and I put the other 2 into the slot. Now we're hoping, right? We're fingers crossed. This is going to work. There's not going to be any errors, and I'm only going to have to send back the 2 that's fucking broken. Oh, no. It looks fine for about 20 minutes. No errors whatsoever. And then it hits test number 9. And test number 9 throws out 125 fucking errors instantly. And I'm like, fuck! What now? Right? Now I don't have RAM. Both of my RAM stakes are fucked. And before you think, oh, why don't you just test them singularly? That's not how the RMA process, at least in South Africa, works. You have to send back both sticks of RAM, right? If you buy them as a pair, so you buy 2 sticks of RAM, even if one of the sticks is perfectly fine, both has to be sent back for RMA. So it means that out of the 2 pairs of RAM that I bought, there is at least 1 stick of RAM in each of those that's fucked, so both needs to go back. Now I'm emailing the company, right? I'm like, Netrex, by the way, thank you for the first time chat, really appreciate that. No, I have not applied a new layer of thermal paste just yet. Once I get my RAM back, there's still more than enough thermal paste, by the way. The thermal paste is fine. But once I do get my RAM sticks back, I'm going to go buy some alcohol wipes and just clean off the cooler as well as the CPU and just reapply thermal paste and everything. So I'm going to basically rebuild my whole PC when I get my old RAM, my new RAM. So now I'm in conversation with this company. Ladies and gentlemen, strap the fuck in. They don't want to RMA it. I send them the screenshots showing them the fucking errors, right? I'm like, you can see the goddamn errors. They're like, yeah, but it can't be the RAM. Like, what do you mean it can't be the fucking RAM? RAM breaks every single day. What are you telling me? Are you saying I'm lying? Is the test wrong? I'm like, no, but, you know, if you're going to RMA it, we're going to have you pay for shipping. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. This thing is still under warranty. You have to cover the shipping. The South African consumer law states that you have to cover the shipping. Eventually, I agree to pay one-way shipping, right? So I'll pay for the shipping to them, and then they have to pay for the shipping back to me. Finally, we've reached a fucking agreement. They will take the RAM. But what they will not do, and this drove me fucking nuts, because I showed them the screenshots. They see that it's broken. I have the screenshots that I requested from the shop where I took the PC, where the RAM was tested on a different motherboard, right? Not on my motherboard, on a different fucking motherboard, yeah? So there's evidence that the RAM is broken. I'm like, could you perhaps send me replacement RAM, yeah? And when the replacement RAM arrives, I give you the faulty RAM. To me, that seems like a fair trade, right? I mean, I'm not trying to what's the word? I'm not trying to lie to them. I am giving them the faulty RAM, they're giving me the broken RAM. Or no, I'm giving them the broken RAM, they're giving me the new RAM. No. We must test it ourselves. I'm like, fuck, I can't go a week without RAM. You have no idea. There's no way that I can go a week without RAM. I'm explaining to them. I'm a Twitch streamer. Alison, how you doing? Thank you for the first time chat. Really appreciate that. I'm explaining to them, look, I'm a Twitch streamer. I'm a YouTuber. I can't go another week without fucking PC. You have to meet me in the middle. Like, no. We will not meet you fucking anywhere. You will get your RAM when we've confirmed that the RAM is broken. So I had to go to the PC shop, right, and buy new RAM that I'm not going to be using, right, for long. I just needed to fucking buy it. So I'm going to have extra RAM now in my house because, fuck, it's so annoying, dude. It is so fucking annoying. I hate South Africa and the way things sometimes just stupidly run here, you know? Scam. To build another PC. If you figure, I figure if you don't send it back, they can just charge you 128 gigs of RAM for twice the videos released every week. Yeah, sure. Not quite how that works. What company is this that has treated you like shit? Call them out on Twitter so everyone knows to avoid them. Ollie, the reason I won't be calling them out, but I did send an email to management, is I've worked with this company in the past, and they've always actually been very good. So I think I got a customer service representative that's just fucking moronic. I don't want to hurt companies, so I will never call a company out on Twitter unless they deserve it, like Blizzard, for example. Golgath, no. You can only get a full refund within the first 30 days. You can't get full refunds on things after that. Well, it's not like they worked with me because they know who I am, but I've ordered things from them. My entire PC as it sits here was ordered from them. And they've always been extremely fucking efficient, quick, very helpful. Whenever something went wrong or they didn't have something, they were very quick to let me know, we don't have this, but we can replace it with X, Y, or Z. And they do seem to know what the fuck they're talking about. Only this representative that I was talking to didn't have a fucking clue. Because according to them, RAM doesn't break. It must be my motherboard. Even though my motherboard, if the motherboard is broken, right, as CD told me, if it was the motherboard, then the problems wouldn't be random, they would be constant. And it's random problems. But okay, you guys haven't heard yet how the RAM is faulty, right? The RAM is faulty. But now I buy the new RAM, yeah? I've got the new RAM. I install the new RAM. Switch on the PC. My hard drives are missing. And when I say missing, I don't just mean the hard drives are missing. I mean, I can see them in Disk Manager, but I can't initialize them. Whenever I try to initialize the hard drive, it says request denied due to an I/O error. I'm like, what changed? I changed the RAM, and now my hard drives are fucking breaking. What the fuck is this? How is this even possible? The hard drives that do show up, right? The hard drives that do show up disappear randomly. Just goes away, just fucks off. I'm literally in the middle of watching a series. I was watching Castle, right? And it just crashes and then goes file not found. I'm like, how? Nothing changed, you fuck. This is a brand new fucking problem that just surfaced. So I'm talking to CDJ. I DM'd him on Twitter. You guys know CD, right? I'm talking to CD. I'm explaining to him everything that's wrong. And CD goes, look, bro, it sounds like there's a 24-pin connection error. it sounds like one of your cables at least isn't connected. Yeah? So here's what I did. I took apart my entire PC, cables and all. This all happened last night. Literally, I took the power supply out of the PC, unplugged every cable from the power supply, cleaned everything, right? Didn't need cleaning, but cleaned it anyways, just to make sure. Like I have this blow thing, like air blower. So I'm blowing into every hole to make sure all the dust, if there's dust in there, it comes out. The cables are being blown on to make sure they're fucking fine. I plug everything back in, right? Everything goes back in, all of the cables. I have to redo all of my cable management, everything. And how it works. Seems fine now. So, I'll tell you another thing that is fine for the first time in over a year. My USB ports no longer crash. Ever since I got this PC, literally ever since I got this PC, I can't plug two things into USB ports next to each other. So if I plug my mouse and my keyboard into USB ports next to each other, I get an error in Windows that says, nope, there's not enough power to power this. It's a mouse and a fucking keyboard, right? So I can only use half of all of my USB ports. Ever since I've done this, right? And yes, this proves that a good blow can fix just about anything, right? It does prove that. I'm with you, chat. I realized that every single one of you, as soon as I said that, made it very, very sexual. I just wanted to make sure that you guys know I acknowledge that it is extremely sexual and girls should take note. There is nothing that can't be fixed with a good blowjob. That being said, though, I have no problems now with my USB ports. They are fucking working. Perfectly. Like, what the fuck? Bately, thank you for the 100 bits. I really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, it's been a fucking... been a wild ride. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a fucking wild ride. I don't want to do it again. I am over this bullshit. Current, depending on what's plugged in. Not an expert, but it's possible your motherboard was protecting against excessive current draw. DS-cap, but the problem is as soon as I reattached all of the cables, it fixed the USB ports. So my USB ports work fine now. I have everything plugged into exactly... So here's the thing, right? I have a new keyboard. I bought this keyboard a week ago, right? It's the Corsair K70. I couldn't plug... because it comes with two USB ports, like two USB connectors that have to be plugged into your motherboard. I couldn't plug it in because every single time I plugged it into two USB ports next to each other, it would crash. Like, it would just say, nope, there's not enough power for that. So I had to plug it in sort of weird, where one goes in here and the other one goes in there. Yeah? Now I can do it next to each other, no problem. My GoPro is running with the mouse right next to it. Actually, I'm lying, not the mouse. The mouse is in a different port. It's my GoPro with my mic. I could previously not do that. So clearly, I had a cable that was loose and I didn't even know it. From the beginning. I was saving up money to buy a new motherboard. That's how sick and tired I've gotten of my motherboard. I was convinced I got a fucking shit motherboard that's broken and I don't even give a fuck about it. I don't want to replace it because then I have to wait for them to replace it. So I'll just fucking buy a new one. Thank you, man. Evie, happy to have you here. Welcome to the stream. Welcome back, everyone. It is so good to be back. How have you guys been? I've been talking the whole fucking time about my life. I haven't seen any of you for over almost 2 weeks now. So how's everyone been? What have you guys been up to? Let's catch up. And then I can work. I've played every Zelda except I've never played Zelda. Oh my god, have you guys seen Arcane? Please tell me there's someone here that's seen Arcane. Royal J, how you doing, brother? Mary, how you doing? Been working like always, especially selling lots of roofing stuff. Nice. So God, Nimco, how you doing, brother? Nope, I'm glad you're back so I don't have to do your job. Truth. Retired bro, not doing shit. Bang down, want your life. Did you move or where have you been? Neo, I didn't have a PC. I didn't have a PC. But I'm back now. Foul Smoke, how you doing, brother? Next week, I'm only going to be streaming until Wednesday because next weekend I'm going back to my hometown to go say goodbye to my family there. My father, have to sort of go. Arcane is the brand new. It's an anime. It's my first ever anime that I'm watching, by the way. But it's an anime about League of Legends. It's the League of Legends origin story, if you will. It is brilliant. It is absolutely fucking magnificent. And I didn't even think I would like it because I don't like anime in general. But it is such a good fucking story, dude. I'm not a LoL fan. Arcane's still a good watch. DSK, yes. It's a good story. It's a great story. League of Legends, even if you're not a League of Legends fan, the lore in League of Legends is absolutely insane. It's got some of the best lore I've ever focused on. So yeah, absolutely. Worth a watch, even if you don't give a fuck about League of Legends. No, I won't be watching any more. Look, the only way I would watch anime is if a very hot girl would only have sex with me on the what's the word? On the understanding, I suppose, that I first watch anime. Yes, I'm still in South Africa. Sadly. On the terms, yes. Under the terms and conditions that I watch anime first. Then I would watch anime, but only because, Aria Space Girl, Black Rose Dragon, how you doing? Thank you much for the first time chat. Really appreciate that, bro. Aria is pretty cute. Although, I don't think we've seen Aria in Arcane. No, we haven't. It's sort of weird. They're only now focusing on Piltover. I wonder if they're going to start focusing, are we going to get them to focus on sort of Noxus? Because I would love to see Noxus in action. Are they going to be focusing on the Freljord? Because that would be fucking awesome. She probably won't be in it, as this is about Vi and Jinx stories. Georgie, but it could eventually turn into more than that. Unless, of course, they're planning to do even more stories. So that is possible, right? Unless they're deciding, Arcane is the first anime, then they're going to have another anime for the Freljord. They're going to have another anime for Noxus, because I would love to see the Society of Noxus, bro. Because that society is all about war and killing and shit. So that would be a fucking cool society to visit. Jinx is in it, yeah. You see sort of the origin of Jinx. So what made Jinx who she is, right? That's sort of what you see. This might be a taste run, and if all goes good, then they'll probably do more zones, and maybe near the end, merge them. Fuck, bro. Blue Fairy, you have to watch it. You absolutely have to watch it. When's the next episode coming out? I hate that they do it episode by episode. It's Netflix, fuck. Just release all the episodes at once. We see some Shadow Isles? Oh, yeah. Kylie, oh my god, yes. The Shadow Isles would be so cool to fucking see as well. Good to see it then. How do I watch it? It's on Netflix, mainly. Or you can just borrow it from the internet if you really want to, right? Let's just quickly... Sorry, guys. Let me just get this video up and running because I need to make it live in about half an hour. So let's go into screen share so you guys can see what the fuck I'm busy with. Oh my god, getting used to a new keyboard and typing is so fucking hard, dude. Alright, that should be fine. Netflix time gating. Netflix has gaming now, by the way. You should be used to this by now. Damn Netflix. Yep, I hate time gating, bro. When it comes to series, I just want to binge it in a single evening. I despise when I have to wait. I hate when I have to wait. Oh, this thing is loud. Listen to this. This keyboard is loud. It's a brown cherry. It's yeah, cherry MX switches, brown MX switches. It will bring us back to Northrend. I mean, so far that's sort of the theory, but I don't necessarily think that is what's going to happen. Alex, I don't like the wording. Caramel, how you doing? I don't like the wording. What to come? I'm not a fan of the thumbnail. I'll show you guys what it looks like. Cancel application, literally shit, bro. I didn't even get a reply. They haven't even replied to me. So I think I'm blocked inside Blizzard. I think I'm blocked. I'm just trying to think. Different wording. What could be on this thumbnail? To them it seems. I also didn't get a reply. No, I don't know if he actually I don't know if it's a real reply that he got. I don't think so. Changes everything. There's your title. Netflix, I hate doing things like that. Yeah, what's to come probably a bit better. It's for now at least, but I want something more catchy. I think I know. I think I know. I think I know. You got a "we will forward your ticket" generic response? Yeah, but I don't think that's an actual response that he got. I think that was a joke. Because I don't think anyone got any response from Blizzard. I don't think Blizzard responds to things like that. I applied to the council. I doubt I will get in. I highly fucking doubt that I'll get in. I mean, let's be real. I don't say nice things about Blizzard anymore, you know? Here we go, bitches. I think if I started, like, if I bent over backwards and I really tried to make, if I tried to be, like, as nice to Blizzard as humanly possible and I really phrased everything just right, then maybe I would get in. But the way in which I attack Blizzard consistently for their bullshit, I don't think I'm getting in. Wait, who debated you? Oh, yeah, Asmongold. What is the point of this council? It is not the same as private forums back in the day. So, I don't necessarily, just to, I guess, since people, everyone seems to have an opinion on the council thing. Let me say this. I don't disagree with this council. In fact, I think this council should have been a thing very long ago. I know for a fact they did this before, and then they did what they basically always do. They stopped caring, right? They stopped responding. They basically removed the developers, or the developers removed themselves from these forums, and eventually it just turned into a bunch of people going back and forth, nothing really changing ever, right? And that's just how it works. But remember, MMOs are designed as team effort, right? The ultimate third developer is the player. No matter what you do as an MMO developer, you will never be done until the players have had their chance to say something, right? And a good MMO designer will listen to what the players have to say and make changes accordingly. Yeah, because they kind of have to. You don't have a choice when it comes to MMO design. Because not everything that you think you're going to design is going to hit the player at the same time. Yeah, or the way that you had hoped it's going to hit the player. You might think to yourself, well, you know, I'll give you guys a great example. Yeah, I'll give you guys a great example of how something you develop and design turns out to be something completely different without you ever wanting that to happen. Yeah? OnlyFans. You guys do realize that OnlyFans wasn't supposed to be a porn site. The developers of OnlyFans, Nico Spider, how you doing? The developers of OnlyFans developed OnlyFans to be an answer to Patreon. That's it. It was supposed to be developers or content creators like myself going onto OnlyFans, basically making videos and sort of having the opportunity to chat to my friends and my fans and whoever, right? What happened as soon as it went live? We all know the story, right? What happened to OnlyFans the second they made that site live? Mikoto, how you doing, brother? It coincided with Patreon basically cracking down on sexualized content, and every single content creator that wanted to do sexualized content moved over to OnlyFans, yeah? And OnlyFans became synonymous with porn. These days, most serious content creators, and when I say serious content creators, I'm not by any means saying that OnlyFans creators are any less creator. I just mean most non-porn creators won't touch OnlyFans because OnlyFans is the porn place, right? And most people don't want to be associated with that for whatever reasons, yeah? OnlyFans didn't plan this. They didn't want this. They at no point thought that this would even happen, and yet it did happen. Now, they could have banned it. They tried. It didn't work, right? But they could have banned it immediately. Could have immediately said, no. We don't want porn on our site. However, they did the right thing. They adapted. They said, okay, fine. Then this is now a porn site, and that's cool with us. Yeah, that's cool with us. We're still going to design the site so anyone can join, and there are people on OnlyFans that don't do any porn, right? That does exist on OnlyFans, but at the end of the day, yeah, that's the sad reality of software design, whether it be gaming or whether it be social media, whatever it is. You have no idea what the user will do with your project. Once the user get their hands on it, they might do something that you never expected them to do. And then as a good developer, it is your job to adapt, right? To say, okay, fine. So clearly we thought all of these things were going to happen. They didn't happen. We have to adapt. We have to change. Blizzard refuses to do that. My biggest problem with the council that Blizzard have set up, I don't think Blizzard is going to choose the right people for the council position. I think Blizzard is going to end up basically choosing people that simply say what they want them to say. I think Blizzard is going to end up building an echo chamber for themselves where the ideas just get sort of pushed back in their face, right? So they have an idea for something and they release it to the group, and the group says, hey, yeah, this is a great idea. We love this. That's what I think is going to happen, because I don't think the developers of World of Warcraft have any interest in being attacked, right? I don't think they have any interest in being challenged. I think I think the developers are basically I think the developers are simply looking for, what do you call it? A sound wall, right? They're looking for a sound wall. They look to say something and then that just gets sort of punched back to them. And there's more than enough content creators that will do exactly that, right? Go on Twitter, go on YouTube, literally type in World of Warcraft and look at most of the top content creators, right? On the list of YouTube. Out of those, there's a small number of content creators that would actually criticize Blizzard if they did the wrong things. The vast majority of World of Warcraft content creators will simply say what Blizzard wants them to say. They will go with whatever, they'll defend Blizzard for whatever. I see it on Twitter all the time. It drives me absolutely fucking nuts when I see it, because it's annoying, right? It is fucking annoying. Because you're not helping anyone, yeah? No one is helped when you just shill for the company. You're not actually making the game better. In fact, you're making the game worse as a result of your shilling. That's, by the way, what we're going to be doing tomorrow, when hopefully I have a little bit more time, depending on the load shedding schedules and shit. But tomorrow, I want to go line for line with you, chat, and figure out the perfect wish list for fixing World of Warcraft. It seems to be what everyone else is doing right now. Everyone seems to be coming up with their own wish lists, and their wish lists suck. I don't think they're doing the right things. So hopefully we can come up with a better wish list. You're gonna choose people that suck them off and don't critique them at all? True. That's my fear. I'm not saying it will happen. If Blizzard truly cares about fixing World of Warcraft, then they won't do that. Then they'll realize that we can't choose content creators and creators and players who only play our game and play nothing else, because that's going to lead to a very bad path, right? That's not going to work out well for us in the long run. Hopefully they realize that. I think popular streamers would be the right choice for people who follow them. Berserker got, so I don't necessarily just want popular streamers, right? I think you do need players, because not every, like, here's the thing, right? There's portions of the game that isn't represented by content creators. So, for example, the super casual, yeah? I will never represent the super casual player, because super casual content doesn't really bring in a lot of viewers, right? If all you're doing in the game is sort of pet battles, you're not going to have very many fucking viewers, yeah? But there's an audience for it. There's people that like that sort of content. They might not be streamers, they might not be YouTubers, but they like that content, and it needs to be there for them. Yeah, so here's the thing that I don't understand from people that really fucking annoys me, is the amount of people that will say shit like, well, I like World of Warcraft. I think World of Warcraft is in the best spot it's ever been in. And it's like, well, that doesn't really mean anything, right? Because if you're a raider in World of Warcraft, maybe you like it. Maybe you have no problem with World of Warcraft raiding, yeah? If you like Mythic Plus, maybe you love World of Warcraft. You have no problem with World of Warcraft because there's Mythic Plus and you like Mythic Plus. But MMOs aren't niche games, right? Single player games are niche games. For example, Call of Duty, Yeah, it's not even a single player game, but Call of Duty is a niche game. Call of Duty doesn't try to appeal to the MMO audience. It's not suddenly going to bring in pet battles or the ability to collect pets even, because their audience wouldn't give two fucks about that. Call of Duty tries to appeal to the people that want to shoot other people's faces off, right? That's it. That's all they really care about. They don't want to do anything else. MMOs aren't like that. MMOs, the idea behind an MMO, and I have a video planned, probably going to shoot it tomorrow, but why Final Fantasy is currently so successful, and it boils down to greed. Final Fantasy is successful because Yoshi P is a greedy motherfucker. You see, Yoshi P understands the secret behind video games, specifically MMOs. You see, he understands that he can't make one system that will keep everyone happy. That's impossible. So instead, he goes for the sort of net approach, right? You cast a very wide net, and you hope that as many people as possible get caught in the net. So, bunch of systems, and hopefully there's something for everyone. That's different to what World of Warcraft does, right? That's different to what Ian and the team does. And it's not, in this, by the way, we can't blame Ian, because this is something that has started years and years ago in World of Warcraft already, even before Ian's time. World of Warcraft tries to sort of... We had this discussion on Discord, I think yesterday, actually, in general. We were sort of, a bunch of us were talking about this sort of idea, yeah, around why World of Warcraft fails. And the best word I have for this is efficiency. World of Warcraft, Blizzard and World of Warcraft seem to favor efficiency much more than anything else. They seem to really want to design the game as efficiently as humanly possible. What does that mean? Well, as little input, like actual input into the game as possible for maximum output. So when they design a system like Torghast, for example, yeah, they try to design it in such a way that it covers as many bases of the player base as humanly possible. So they make Torghast, and then they make sure that the hardcore raiders will do Torghast, the hardcore PvPers will do Torghast, the hardcore dungeoneers will do Torghast, the casuals will do Torghast, and the RPers will do Torghast, right? So they want the one system to appeal to everyone. That's efficient, because you're not wasting your time with developers designing 10, 20, 30 different systems. They're making one system, yeah? And that system now appeals to everyone because everyone has to do it. And then the system doesn't appeal to everyone. The hardcore raiders are fucking bored because it's not hard enough. The hardcore dungeoneers are bored because it's not hard enough. The PvPers are bored because it's not what they want to play. They want to kill other players. Now they're killing NPCs. The casuals are bored because they don't see the point, right? There's nothing really in there for them. So it ends up appealing to no one. That's the problem with efficient design. When you favor or prioritize efficiency in your design, it fails. The right way to design an MMO is to prioritize fun. So you want to prioritize fun. You want to prioritize as many different systems as possible that allows as many people as possible to have fun. You can't do efficient. You can either have fun systems or you can have efficient systems. You can't have both. Final Fantasy is a very inefficient game. Let's run through this. Let me run you through the logic. Final Fantasy have a thing called Palace of the Dead. Palace of the Dead have no reason for existing outside of it just existing, right? It's just a thing that you can do. You can sort of level up different jobs in the Palace of the Dead, but outside of that, the Palace of the Dead doesn't really give you anything. There's no real reason to do the Palace of the Dead. It's still there, right? That's inefficient. You've designed a system that doesn't really have to go, like, not everyone has to do it and not everyone is going to do it. Let's look at the Golden Saucer. The Golden Saucer is perhaps one of the biggest wastes of time in terms of development that you could ever imagine. Why? Because the Golden Saucer truly doesn't appeal to anyone. Bentley, take care of yourself, bro. Thank you much for hanging out, man. Like, the Golden Saucer truly has no need for existing outside of people wanting to do it if they feel like doing it, right? But outside of that, there's really no point. It doesn't give you player power. The currency that you make in there can't be spent anywhere but there. So really, no point, right? And then you look at the incredible amount of games that they have in the Golden Saucer, right? And you look at something like Chocobo Racing and all the effort that they put into Chocobo Racing, and you ask yourself, how many people do Chocobo Racing? The answer is actually very few. Chocobo Racing isn't something that's enjoyed by 30 or 40% of the player base. Maybe like 5% of the player base enjoys Chocobo Racing. Yeah? So why exactly did they put that much effort into Chocobo Racing? Even the ability to breed your own pet, your own racing Chocobo. Why not? You see, it's not meant to be a system for everyone. It's meant to be a system that hopefully some players will enjoy. That's the difference. World of Warcraft does not design systems that only some players will enjoy, because that is inefficient. It's a waste of developer time. It is far more efficient to design systems that forces everyone to do it. And hopefully the system is good enough that everyone loves it. And then it turns out it's not good enough because you can't actually do that. Let's take the best thing. Most people would agree, right? Pizza is amazing. Yet almost none of us can agree on the toppings that should go onto a pizza. And pizza is universally loved. Most people love pizza. You could not make a pizza that every single person in the world would love. Even if the dough was the same, the sauce was the same, and the cheese was the same, you could not make a pizza that every single person in the world would like. So why do you think you could make a game that every single person in the world would like? More importantly, why do you think you could create a system inside a game that every single person in the world would like? You can't. And for some reason, Ian and his team do not understand this. They don't seem to grasp this fundamental fact of life. You need to create multiple systems. VC, by the way, thank you for the follow and the first time chat. Really appreciate that, bro. You need to create a plethora of systems, yeah? And hope that there is a system in there for everyone. That's the secret. If Blizzard wants to fix World of Warcraft, that's where they start. I wouldn't say margarita pizza is the mother of pizza. For me personally, pepperoni, extra cheese, pineapple. Perfect. You could even throw a mushroom in there if you really fucking felt adventurous. But that's the perfection of pizza. $9 per topping? Jesus. Tennis will murder you if you say that loud? Murder? For what? What did he say out loud? I love pineapple pizza. There's something so incredibly amazing about pineapple on pizza, bro. I just think people are full of shit. That's genuinely, I think people are full of shit. Normal mushrooms, just normal white button mushrooms. You could go for the larger sort of portobello mushroom, also pretty good. But any mushroom, I'm a huge fan of mushrooms, so it doesn't really matter what kind of mushroom, as long as it's a fucking mushroom, I'll have it. I just think people are completely wrong about pineapple. So here's why pineapple on pizza is so amazing, right? It adds a hint of sweet to an otherwise very salty thing, right? Because pizza is extremely salty. If you take a normal pizza, you have the base that genuinely or generally is a bit salty. Although when I make my bases at home, I make it slightly sweet. There go a little bit of brown sugar goes into the base as well, just to give the base a slight sweet sort of aftertaste. Then you have the tomatoes, which is the tomato sauce, which is very salty. You have the pepperoni, which is very salty. And then, of course, you have the cheese, which is also quite salty. So by adding a little bit of pineapple, it just sort of breaks that saltiness. Like every once in a while, you get a pineapple, you get a piece of pineapple, and there's a little bit of sweet mixed into it. Mwah, beautiful. 50% of any pizza weight is made of sugar. Well, yes, but we're talking about sugar as in the nice, like the sweet taste of it, not sugar as in sugars in the body, right? Pineapple on pizza is next level. Nick, I agree. I love many different pizza toppings, but sometimes you can't beat a good cheese pizza, just saying. We have a pizza here called 4 cheeses, which is literally 4 types of cheeses on a single pizza. And it is actually quite marvelous. It's actually quite marvelous. Noonkade, how you doing, bro? Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. The beer thanks you as well. No margarita pizza is just named after the Princess Margarita from that time. Something with poor people, and she was on visit there. But it is a delicious simple. You see, I don't want the simple pizza, but I'm simplistic in my likes. So just add some pepperoni at least. At the very fucking least, add some pepperoni. Pizza, a white pizza is superior. Welcome back, bud. The Sin family, happy to be back, brother. I've also had the buffalo chicken pizza with pineapple same day. It was so good. Oh, that does sound good. What are your thoughts on Ashes of Creation? Yay and nay, right? So it's difficult with Ashes of Creation. I see a lot of people getting extremely excited for Ashes of Creation, very similar to how people got for New World. And I'm going to say the same thing about Ashes of Creation as I said about New World. It's not going to live up to the hype. People need to really rein in their hype for this game for a couple of reasons. The first thing is the hype itself. When you overhype something, when you expect something to be here, right? And the thing comes in here, it feels as if the thing came in here, right? Because your expectations were so incredibly high for what this thing was going to be. And I hear people going, it's going to save the MMO industry, it's going to be the best MMO ever, it's going to blow every other MMO out of the water. And the truth is, I would like to see why. Because there is not a single reason in this entire game for it to do better than WoW or Final Fantasy. Not a single reason. Let's run through it and I'll give you... Okay, first and foremost, action combat. Action combat games tend to not do as well as your more traditional tab target games, right? And for various reasons we could get into, but at the end of the day, action combat doesn't appeal to every single person out there. It's something that some people truly love, but some people don't really care about, yeah? Then let's look at their... How do I put this? Their philosophy that goes into the game, right? This game is supposed to be hardcore. It's how they market it. So... when you die, you lose a portion of your goods and your items. Death can have negative effects on your XP. So this is a hardcore MMO. Historically speaking, hardcore MMOs do not do well. The vast majority of people don't. If you make your MMO with the full knowledge that you're maybe going to have 1 million players, you're good. No problems, right? The issue is when you make your MMO thinking you're going to get 10 million players and you realize, oh, no, I'm not going to get 10 million players. Not in 1 million years. Because most people don't have time to reform everything every single time they get killed. Also, it tends to be a game that wants to prioritize open world PvP. And there's a lot of incentive to kill people in the open world because you get to take some of their stuff. There's some penalties. So, open world, hardcore MMO, PvP MMOs also tend to do really bad. So that's 3 things now that the game promises that actually all points to a pretty bad game. Or at least a game that doesn't do as well as people think it will do. Yeah? Then you throw into that the sandbox element. Now, to be clear, right? when it comes to sandbox games, they have a lot of promise, and many people really want sandbox games. But people want sandbox games in theory. Very few people actually want a sandbox game in principle. See, because a true sandbox game, which Ash of Creation promises to be, right, is very easy to fuck up. Because you have the players controlling the economy, you have the players controlling the world. Players fuck things up for other people. You have trolls that will do things with the economy that basically throws the entire game out of whack. And if the developers aren't on point, these things will happen constantly. You'll have trolls that make it impossible for new players to actually play the game because they can. Sandbox games are very good in theory. They suck in application. So the very fact that people are walking around thinking to themselves, oh my god, Ash of Creation is going to be the game, is laughable. I'm not saying Ashes of Creation is going to be bad. I'm looking forward to playing Ashes of Creation. I think Ashes of Creation is going to be insanely fun to play if you have the time to play it. If you're not a streamer or a YouTuber, you're probably going to find it fucking hard to play Ashes of Creation because the game seems to require a lot of time like most sandbox games do. It's almost a job that you have to play. And I don't think many people are interested in that. So I think people need to lower their expectations. They need to realize that the game is going to do well. It's not going to crash and burn. It's not going to be the worst MMO in the history of the world. But it's also not going to be the best MMO in the history of the world. It's going to be okay. And if people can realize that, then they might be onto something. The problem is people are doing with this game what they did to New World, and you see it now. New World is okay. New World isn't bad. It's an okay game. It's what every MMO starts off being. Kind of empty at the end game, you know? But that's fine. Almost all MMOs are kind of empty at the end game. Why are people leaving the game in droves? Because they expected this. And what they got was this. And what it feels like is this. And once it feels like this, you can't really save that. Right? That's not salvageable. It's done. It's over. That's to answer your question for a while. Actually, that was a long answer. I do apologize, but that's my answer to how do I feel about, Ashes of Creation. Someone asked about Charlotte. Charette, sorry. Charette, Diablo MMO? I don't think it would work. Also, I don't want World of Warcraft involved in another MMO. The whole fantasy of Diablo works best as an ARPG, right? That doesn't mean that they can't do what Lost Ark did. I got invited to the beta for Lost Ark, by the way. We'll probably give it a go. As soon as I get my RAM, we'll check out Lost Ark. But you could do a sort of ARPG MMO, right? You could try to do that, yeah. But I think ultimately what I loved about Diablo was that sort of lonely feeling. I'll be honest with you, for me, multiplayer even destroyed a lot of what I loved about Diablo in the first place. Because the whole point of Diablo is sort of like it's you, this lone wanderer, that discover this great evil plot and you have to foil the plot. And now you have this game that's sort of a multiplayer monstrosity, which removes the whole, it's me, a lone wanderer, against the world. It's one of the other reasons why a game like Fallout 76 failed so incredibly well. Because who plays Fallout? Think about people who play Fallout. You play Fallout because you want to be alone. You're alone in this world. It's just you. And that feeling of being alone, of being a lone warrior in a world that is very hostile is what most people love about the game. And once you make that multiplayer, it doesn't work. It just doesn't hit the same. Because now there's a lot of people in my world, and this world just doesn't feel like my world, right? It doesn't feel like what I want the world to be. I'll give you a good example of I did play last night because I was tasting out if my PC is finally fixed. But I started playing Death Stranding. Yeah. I have to say, perhaps one of the best games I've ever played. I'm not that far into it yet, but it is mind-blowing. Especially the way in which the game treats other players. Like, it's not a full-blown single-player game. It's sort of single-player, but also sort of not single-player. How many of you have played Death Stranding? Alright, so as you play, right, things you do in the world actually affects other players. You don't see the other players, by the way. Like, you can't see them. But, for example, when you build a bridge, yeah, you say build a bridge over some water, other players see your bridge. Like, your bridge is in their world as well. When you're building roads, for example, your roads is in their world, and you get likes when they use your road. So you're actually incentivized to sort of try to make the world easier for those that come after you, because you'll get more likes and that will help you gather more materials and shit. It's a very interesting twist, because the whole point of the game is you are alone. Right? It's just you. There's no one that helps you. There's no multiplayer. It's just you. And you have to fix the world. You have to bridge the entire world together. But the fact that other players' actions influence you makes it interesting. It adds a slight twist to it that makes it a very interesting game to play. Now, if they had Death Stranding where you could see the other players and you could see the other players running around, that would have destroyed the game. Because what makes the game scary and gripping and sort of really fucking... like, when I say it's not so much scary, what it is what's the English word for it? Tense. It's a very tense game. Like, while I'm playing it, I'm fucking tensed up as shit in that game. And one of the things that makes you so tense is the fact that you're alone in this world. It's just you. There's no one else, right? And that adds a layer of interest to it. To Heisenberg, how you doing, bro? To get back to your question originally, Diablo MMO, I think the reason why Diablo works is the very reason why it would not work as an MMO. Could it work in the IP? In other words, you use the Diablo IP as the backdrop of an MMO? Perhaps, but I don't think so. I don't necessarily trust that it could. The Diablo world, the universe of Diablo, seems to me to be far too narrow. And by that, I don't mean it's bad lore or lacking in lore, but it's narrow lore. The lore is very specifically designed only for that game, right? So the lore is quite narrow. The only things you really have in that game is the angels, the demons, and the Nephilim. Yeah? And the lore basically revolves around these three elements. I don't think you could do a proper MMO with just those elements. You'd have to expand the Diablo universe, which could then lead to a loss of intimacy, which is what makes Diablo, right? Is that intimacy. So I don't want to see I don't even want to see a multiplayer Diablo, let alone a fucking MMO of Diablo. StarCraft, on the other hand, would have the lore and the world to be an incredible MMO if Blizzard were ever interested in doing it. EverQuest was made over almost no lore at all back in the days. Well, Golgath, that is something that a lot of games did back in the day. Even to this day, there's a lot of games that basically don't have any story and purely rely on the gameplay mechanics to push the game. I don't like games like that, right? I need story. If you don't give me story, I don't see the point in playing the game. I want a story. A StarCraft MMO could be so fucking off the hook, dude. But I would like them, if they ever decided to do a StarCraft MMO, they need to buy BioWare and let BioWare make the StarCraft MMO. Because from what I've heard about Star Wars, The Old Republic, I think BioWare could make that MMO. I think BioWare could do wonders with that MMO. A Warhammer 40k MMORPG would crush everything lore-wise. Golga, true, but then again, Warhammer's lore is magnificent, right? It's huge. The problem is that the company that does the Warhammer shit don't seem to care who makes games in their name, because they keep giving the licensing of their game to anyone with a fucking PC who keeps bringing out these shit fucking games. Back in the day, my buddy and I always wondered why they didn't do an ACMMO, the Universe of StarCraft. Man, it would be good. The issue, from what I understand, because I have some people who work at Blizzard, who have worked at Blizzard, who were quite high up, whom I've spoken to in the past about stuff like this. They didn't want... basically, they never made the StarCraft MMO for two reasons. First is, Mike Morhaime didn't want StarCraft MMO. Mike Morhaime loved StarCraft. He loved the game style. He loved the RTS version of it. And he wanted to keep that pure, right? So unlike with Warcraft, which they eventually turned into World of Warcraft, he didn't want StarCraft to go the same route. He wanted to keep StarCraft pure as an RTS, right? In that world. The second is, it's for the same reason that they eventually canceled Titan. Project Titan. They didn't want to be the company that only does MMOs. So they decided to move off. Mr. Smokin, I know a few people who would agree with the Apocalypse comes to mind there as well. Welcome back. Rody, thank you for the first time chat, dude. Really appreciate that. Riot is building right now lore for the future MMO with Arcane and that things. Rody, true. It's not so much that Riot is building lore, because the lore of Jinx and the lore of Vi is already available to people who actually go read about it. Yeah? Like, let me put it this way. Almost nothing in Arcane is news to me. It's nice to see how all of this starts, like actually be able to see it. But it's not necessarily news, because a lot of that was already in the game. The lore was already written for a lot of these things. What Riot is doing now, which I think is absolutely incredible, right? Lassie is Babby. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. Really appreciate that. Comrade. Thank you, thank you, thank you. They're making it mainstream. You see, they're pushing their lore into the mainstream. They're opening it up to a wider audience. So when the MMO finally comes out, there's a lot of people that watched Arcane, that maybe watches a bunch of the other things that they're doing, that's going to go, fuck it, I need to play that. So it's a very clever move from Riot, to be fair. Very clever move. We've made it, my friend, through Shadowlands and into Final Fantasy. Thank you for always keeping me entertained and having one of the most degenerate chats. Lucius Babby, It is my absolute pleasure, and I want to thank you for spending an entire year with me. That's insane. Leslie's baby, welcome. Thank you very much. I just finished Stormblood. It was so bad compared to Evansward. It almost burned me out on the game. Elodie, don't fucking ruin the game for me. I still have to get there. Timothy, what do I think about what? Mental Ban, and now an anime. Next up, MMO, fuck me, World Domination is next. Look up for what? I want a game, a D&D advanced open world PvP like Conan Exiles using the real engine, flying, survival, building with lots of story. Timothy, the problem, again, what you're describing there is a game, is a sandbox MMO. That's not gonna, it's not gonna have the success that you're hoping for. As soon as you talk about building things, yeah? As soon as you talk about building and the ability to influence the real world, you're basically lowering the amount of people that will actually partake in your game. For a couple of reasons. Number one being that a lot of players will build silly shit, yeah? That really takes you out of the fantasy of the game. A lot of people will just end up building stupid crap that doesn't belong in the game just for the sake of being able to build something, yeah? So that can often be something that deters players. And also, when it comes to stuff like building and stuff, it really puts a lot of strain on new players. Because in most sandbox games, the longer you play the game, the bigger your advantage. The harder it is for new players to actually get into the game and also catch up to the game. My personal thing, if I were to ever design an MMO, would be a theme park MMO. I would go for theme park 100%. I would stick with tab targeting because I think tab targeting works best. I wouldn't try to reinvent the wheel. I would just make the wheel smoother. You joke, Cask. I've actually seen that in games. I have actually seen games where there's like buildings that represent a penis. And it immediately just takes you out of the game. Like you're instantly just sort of sitting there going, I don't think that's what this should look like. Like, I don't think the world needs this. Like I said before, if there's a chance that you can troll, you will troll. Someone's gonna fucking troll, right? To Endwalkers, you only buy that. Like Conan Exiles, the game purge will destroy your base, not just players. I've never played Conan Exiles, so I've no idea. I've no idea how that works. The next game that I want to try is Star Wars, though. I really want to give Star Wars The Old Republic a go. From what I've been told, Star Wars The Old Republic story is insane. So I really want to fucking give it a go and see what that's like. Till when has Final Fantasy been delayed? When is it coming out now? I just remember seeing... Oh, fuck, I have to show you guys this. This was actually a very good video. I'll show you guys this. December 3 for pre-orders, December 7 for everyone else. Fuck, so I need to pre-order it. Oh, sick, I'm gonna be streaming Swatter. Right now, the plan is as soon as I get my RAM back, right? So the second I get my RAM back, that should be next week. We'll start playing Final Fantasy again. We've just cancelled our gym membership here in Pretoria, mainly because we have to cancel it so that we can go to Cape Town and get a new gym membership there. So I'm probably not going to be going to the gym for the next month. I have weights here, so I'm sort of working out in the mornings now. But as soon as I get my RAM back, so I can have a proper PC again, we'll jump into Final Fantasy. I want to finish at least Stormblood, right? I want to finish at least Stormblood so I can get those videos out. I have a ton of videos that I have to make now about a Realm Reborn's patch content. And as soon as I have those videos out and I have the videos out about Heaven's Ward and also Heaven's Ward patch content and Stormblood with Stormblood's patch content, then maybe we'll take a small break and we'll switch to Star Wars The Old Republic. Then we'll play Star Wars The Old Republic, maybe till level 60 or whatever. I'll do a couple of videos on Star Wars The Old Republic and my experiences playing through Star Wars The Old Republic. Then we'll get back into Final Fantasy to finish Shadowbringers and then finish Endwalker. Get caught up in Endwalker to whatever at that time the max level stuff is. And then maybe get back into Star Wars The Old Republic to actually play that. I wanted to show you guys this video though. It's quite eye-opening. A brief history of apologies in Final Fantasy XIV versus WoW Endwalker delayed. Take a look at this, and I think this is how you realize. Cask, you motherfucker! Thank you much for the gifted sub. Did really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take a look at this, right? Because I think this is actually pretty telling. This is actually pretty telling to me. Look at the difference between apologies and how people apologize.
My entire career that we had announced a release date and had to delay it. So again, I feel really bad about this.
Look at his emotional response. The dude is fighting tears, bro. Because he let down the players. This is how much this means to the guy. Letting down the players. Realizing that he has to tell the players we're delaying the game in order to make it better, in order to ensure that it's ready. And he's fucking emotional about this, right? And you could say anything about that emotion. You could say, well, he's too emotional, whatever the case might be. But the fact that he's that emotional tells you he truly cares about the players. He doesn't want to let the players down. It fucking hurts him that he has to do this. It's not fun for him. Now look at this.
You love Alliance. You were an Alliance player, and you just want to be a fair-skinned, light-haired, blue-eyed elf. Sorry, the Horde is there waiting for you. Eye color is not quite the same, but maybe there'll be contact lenses in the future. We never know.
I want to say something here. In defense of Ian, there's also a bit of a thing in North America. It's something that I'm not sure if it's the whole of North America, or perhaps this is something very specific to California. I'm not sure. But I can tell you that sort of almost sarcastic sense of humor, right? It's something that I spot quite a lot with League of Legends players that come from North America. They have that same sort of dry, sarcastic sense of humor where they're basically taking the piss, right? They're basically, well, you could always just go play something else, go play the Horde or whatever. Not much we can do for you. So that is sort of in this specific video that he showed there, that to me seems more like just a response, yeah? That's just a response. I'm not gonna judge him that, but there is other responses in this video that actually showcases the lack of respect that they have for their player base and the lack of care that they have in pissing off their player base.
ちょっとすいません。はい。少々時間いただきます。いや、皆さんがね、有給取ったりもうね、してくれ
He clearly is not happy with the fact that they had to delay the game, dude.
てるのもあってたんで。
Yep. Why are you guys nerfing Demonology Warlocks to the ground?
All right, this is actually one of those moments that I genuinely wanted to break my PC. I remember watching this Q&A, and this was such a slap in the face from Blizzard. And this, by the way, is everything that is wrong with Blizzard Entertainment. This is why World of Warcraft is the way that it is. And look at how nonchalantly this happens. And I'll explain to you why this is such a big problem in a minute.
Because we'd rather you didn't play Demonology.
申し訳ありません。
That was it. That was his answer, by the way. Why are you nerfing Demonology Warlocks to the ground? Because we don't want you to play Demonology. You want to know why they didn't want people to play Demonology? Because they couldn't figure out how to make Demonology balanced. They had built a spec for Demonology Warlock that was so incredibly overpowered, whether it be on multiple ad fights, whether it be on single target, it was just too overpowered. But it was incredibly fun. It was probably the best Demonology you have ever been, was during this time. And rather than saying, okay, you know, we'll fix it for you, right? We'll figure out how to rework the spec so it actually works for you. Instead, Blizzard nerfed Demonology into the ground. Just nerfed them out of existence. So that Warlocks, for half of an expansion, only had 2 specs. Like, there was no self-respecting Demonology Warlock that would play Demonology. Because it was just not viable. It was the lowest spec on all fights. Doesn't matter what the fight is. Doesn't matter how the fight goes. It was the lowest spec out of all of the fights. This is the epiphany. This is literally, if you want to know what's wrong with Blizzard, that's it. Blizzard's entire system of we'll fix it later, right? If we need to, we can balance it later. If we need to, we can do this later. Making the player wait whilst paying for the fucking game, making the player wait because they're not interested in fixing their mistakes when those mistakes happen. You see, what it speaks to is a lack of respect to your player base. It tells me that you couldn't give 2 fucks about the money that your player base spends on your game. You think you're owed that money. Rather than... And you might look at this and say, but Akalon, this is a small thing. This doesn't even matter. It's about the principle of it.
これから先、長い、旅が始まるので、まあその中でまたその、あたりを挽回していけたらなと思ってます。
If I remember correctly, this was his apology right after the sort of rework of A Realm Reborn 1.0. Like, this was him coming out and sort of apologizing to everyone and talking about the 2.0 launch. I saw this in one of the documentaries that I watched about this. You see, so I'll say this, Yoshi P is a lot more emotional than I am, right? But it does speak to passion. It speaks to passion. It speaks to a man that is so passionate about what he does, what he builds, and how it's perceived, right? That the idea of letting down his players, the idea of putting out something that his players hate or that the players can't enjoy is just too much for him, right? So whenever he lets down the player base, it's an emotional thing for him. It's something that he can't handle because he doesn't want to let down the player base. And essentially, he doesn't cry every single time. There's been moments where he sort of, they do something wrong or they fuck something up and he just apologizes and says they're working on fixing it. But on big fuck ups, so things like as you saw now, them having to sort of postpone the launch of Endwalker, and then also, with 1.0, because that was a massive, massive fuck up, right? He was emotional about that. That was a hard time for him.
Can we get a proper explanation on why you keep going with the GCD changes, despite the absolute majority of the player base being against it? From Thondrak.
All right, getting out of the way early for those Q&A bingo players at home. Let me pause 1.5 seconds, then I'll get right into this. Okay, so yes, GCD
Questions I'm really excited to get to the answers of here.
Yeah, all the hard-hitting questions. We're gonna get pet battles in. We're gonna get.
At this point, he's just sort of like, I mean, those were some of the best moments in these Q&As, because generally these Q&As were incredibly fucking boring, right? So whenever Ian did make a couple of jokes, like there, for example, saying waiting 1.5 seconds before we get into the answer, right? That's a joke. I don't necessarily see that as an apology or an apology going wrong or even having to apologize, right? Here, I would actually say what pisses me off far more is the lack. Oh, they're obviously stoned. Blasphemous Cow. I've said this when we were watching the Q&As live back in the day. Ian and Lore is stoned out of their fucking minds when they do this. You can see Lore in these Q&As. Go back and watch them without me. You can go watch them. Lore sits like this. When Ian speaks, he's like this. Doesn't do shit, bro. He's vibing. He just fucking sits there, baked the shit, just sort of he's still speaking. Oh. That's it. Like, they're baked as fuck when they do this. Guaranteed baked as shit. But no, I don't necessarily think in this regard, I think this is just sort of stabs at Blizzard that doesn't need to be stabs. It's fine if you make jokes with your player base. We have to remember also that these are very different cultures. Ian is a very different guy to Yoshi P. Ian doesn't strike me as an extremely emotional person to begin with. So I don't think Ian is ever going to start crying whenever something goes wrong. What pisses me off more about these things is during these Q&As, Blizzard wouldn't actually give us answers. They would usually explain why they're doing something with basically not fucking explaining why they're doing something. To the point where you would get an answer that afterwards you would go, wait, did he actually answer that fucking question? Because I was listening, but I don't feel like I know. Like, I'm not entirely sure I know what the fuck he just said there. Because it sure as fuck doesn't sound like he answered the question. That was the problem. They did these Q&As to be more transparent and let the player into the process, and then refused to let the player into the process.
It's clipping issues on Helms.
本当にスクエアエニックス一丸となってファイナルファンタジーの名に恥じないだけの今回ゲームをリリースできたと自負してます。ここから先、MMORPG には完成はありません。皆さんと一緒にこれからも、これまで今回このファイナルファンタジー14新生オルゼはまさに皆さんと一緒に作ってきたファイナルファンタジーなので、これからもシリーズの中で皆さんと共に
Bro, Yoshi P should get a fucking award for what he managed to do with Final Fantasy, dude. He should get an award for what he did with Final Fantasy. Do you have any idea how incredibly difficult it is to turn a game like Final Fantasy 1.0 around into 2.0? I mean, that's not fucking easy, dude. That's not fucking easy. I don't know how you do that. Like, genuinely, most people would just say, let it fucking burn. Like, most people would just walk away and say, yeah, fuck that noise. I'm out of here. This is, not my circus, not my monkeys. I'm done. This dude steps in and he actually fucking fixes it. And slowly but surely, by the way, it wasn't an overnight fix. Final Fantasy 2.0 didn't launch and everyone started playing it. Just every single expansion, Final Fantasy moved closer to challenging World of Warcraft. Every expansion, they added a little bit more that brought a few more people in, making the game a little bit more, a little better, a little bit more accessible, a little bit more fun. And suddenly, World of Warcraft did the unimaginable. They fucked up in such a big way that it chased most people off to try out Final Fantasy. And now we're loving it.
ここに作っていくファイナルファンタジーとして5年10年もっとそれ以上初心を今日この場所の初心を忘れずにまた運営を続けていこうと思います。本当にありがとうございます。そしてこれからもどう
Marvelous, thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
ぞよろしくお願いします。
Any plans on curbing back the PvE world mob scaling? They feel like damage sponges even above heroic dungeon item level. So obviously we've been seeing a lot of discussion about this over the last couple of days, a few threads popping up on Reddit and so on. What's going on with the world scaling?
Well, so just take off your Heart of Azeroth and put it in the bank, and then everything is fixed. Moving on.
He did actually continue speaking there. He didn't actually, like, you see, this is what you call creative editing. And I don't like that. As much as I like shitting on Ian and Lore and the team, I always try to do it in as honest way as possible. Because Ian didn't actually say move on and then they moved on. He said moving on and then he said no. And then he went into a 5-minute discussion that again left the player going, did he answer that question? Because I'm more confused now than what I was beforehand, right? But he did answer. So I'm not entirely, like, Flinderwinkies, how you doing? Thank you very much, it's good to be back. I don't like when people do that, right? I don't like creative editing. He made fun of the question first, but as I said from the beginning, I can't blame him for something that might just be in his personality, right? So, for example, if you ever meet me in real life, there's something that you have to know. I am sarcastic to a fault. Insofar as in a normal conversation with me, 70% of it is sarcasm. Whenever I answer you, it's almost always sarcastic. That's what I do with people in real life. That's how I speak in real life. You could say I'm rude. You could say I'm a bastard, but it's who I am, right? And that's just who I am. There's literally nothing I could fucking do about that, right? It is just who I am. I can't blame Ian if that is his personality. Right? His personality, he does make sort of shit jokes. And he does go, well, you could just remove your Heart of Azeroth, moving on, right? That's your personality. That doesn't automatically make you a bastard. This is why whenever this video showcases one of those moments, I explain why the real issue, what the real issue was with these answers there. Because I remember each of these Q&As. I remember bitching through each of these Q&As, because like I said before, the Q&As were supposed to offer us insight into the game. They did not do that, because Ian constantly gave us PR answers. Like, the most real parts of Ian was the little jokes that he made at the beginning. As soon as he got into the actual explanation, it turned into a PR fucking answer where they're basically not admitting fault. They're basically not admitting. I'll give you the best fucking example I have of this. 6 months before the removal of Titan Forging and Wall Forging, 6 months before the removing of Titan Forge and Warforging. Ian, in a Q&A, was asked about Titan Forging and Warforging and whether or not there is any plans for removal of those systems. And Ian straight up said, no. The systems are working as intended. We believe that Titan Forging and Warforging makes gearing more interesting. And 6 months later, Titan Forging and Warforging disappears. That was the issue. Because there Ian could have said, and you fucking don't even fucking start telling me that, oh, but at that point maybe they did think it was working, and then 6 months later it was no longer working. They probably already then knew that they can't fucking do this. Titan Forging and Warforging isn't working. But instead of just admitting that to the player base, instead of just saying, you know what, you guys are right. Titan Forging, Warforging is clearly not working. This is what we wanted to do with Titan Forging and Warforging. This is what we wanted to achieve. And in the end, this is what it ended up being. And that wasn't really our intention from the beginning. So we're going to work on trying to fix it. We're going to try and see if there's a better system out there that we could probably implement. For now, please know that we're aware that these things don't fucking work. And we will change them. They never did that. Instead, they treated the player as a moron, right? We were basically just kind of there. We just kind of had to accept the PR answers for what they were. I'm not going to watch the rest of this because it's just them bowing and sort of showcasing. But there is a marked difference between Final Fantasy's Yoshi P and Ian when it comes to the respect of the player base. Yoshi P actually has the ability to apologize. Like, it's fine. Monley Lou, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. It's absolutely fine, by the way, if you make a mistake. You're developing an MMO for millions of players. Of course you're going to make mistakes. MMOs are notoriously difficult to design and develop, by the way. Just to be clear, most gaming companies will never make MMOs because they are so difficult to make. They are the hardest games in the gaming industry to make. They cost a shit ton of money, and they can truly fuck up very quickly. There's nothing wrong with making mistakes. But admit it. Treat your player like a human being. Treat your player like an actual intelligent human being. When you make a mistake, come out and say, we fucked up. We're sorry. Even with Shadowlands being in the shitter and Shadowlands losing players, Ian comes out, right? And he apologizes for the stuff that they did in Shadowlands, but then shifts the blame. Did you guys see? We went through the interview, right? Ian's interview, where he shifts the fucking blame for the current state of the game on the old guard. Like, these are the lessons that they were taught by their mentors. But clearly those lessons no longer fucking work. It's like, bro, what are you doing? Why? Because, no. These are not the lessons that you were taught by the fucking old guard. You don't even seem to know the lessons that the old guard taught you. Because you think you're following it, but you're not. You see, Blizzard doesn't take responsibility. They have no accountability whatsoever. Praetorian, that's actually a perfect fucking word. Thank you. There's no accountability. There's no place where the buck stops here, right? No one takes that responsibility. The game fucks up and it ends up being, well, but look here. Instead, rather than just stepping out and saying, we fucked up, sorry. We won't do it again, or we'll probably do it again, but we're going to try not to do it again, right? We're going to learn. Never an apology for fucking anything they do. It's always just sort of like, yeah, but you know, we finally saw the light. Like him pretending as if the 9.15 changes was them letting the developers go and the developers just coming back with all of their best ideas. And I'm sitting there going, you mean the ideas that the players have been having for years now? So What? Previously, your developers had no fucking clue that this is what the player base wanted, but then you let your developers go, and they came back with all these mind-boggling ideas that you could, like, literally, I could find all of those ideas with a 5-minute search on Reddit. Ian, I could have saved you fucking time, bro. You didn't have to send your developers out into the wild to go look for ways to save WoW. 5 minutes of fucking Google, bro. I'd have shown you all of those in posts on Reddit with massive upvotes. Your developers didn't find shit. These are literally just things that players wanted. And you just finally gave the players. Why not just admit that? Why say, well, we sent our very talented developers out into the world and they found all these really cool, fun things that we're going to put into the game. Go fuck yourself. You just took the stuff that the players have been wanting for a long time, that there's been multiple videos made on. I made videos on this. There's been multiple fucking threads on Reddit about this. Just admit that you stole the players' ideas. Because guess what? You're allowed to steal our ideas. We're players of your fucking game. Our ideas, in fact, we want you to steal our ideas because they're good ideas, right? They're the things that we want in the game. I promise you, Blizzard, there's not a single player of your game that's going to sue you for copyright infringement when you steal one of our ideas. I promise you that won't happen. You're safe. But no, the player can never get any of the credit because according to them, that would make them seem bad at their fucking jobs. Which they are. But of course, they don't know that. Anyway, done bitching about WoW. That's my full for the fucking day. Sorry guys, I can only bitch about WoW that long before I get sort of annoyed to the point of crying. How is an open poll going to help with anything? They don't read the fucking forums, bro. They pick and choose the post they like on a particular day. The forums are useless, poll or not. Polls are very bad, just by the way. Polls are very, very bad. Because oftentimes polls put people in a position where they have to choose between the lesser of two evils, right? Because the poll doesn't actually have the thing that they want. So they're sort of forced to choose the thing that's closest to the thing that they want. So polls almost, and some people just click whatever, right? They just want to see the results, so they click whatever the fuck to see the results. So polls, for that reason, generally would be a bad idea. Miracos, how you doing? Breathe in, breathe out, and relax, Echo. How's the house hunting going? Oh my god, I wanted to show you guys the house before I have to go offline. Thank you for reminding me. I wanted to show you guys the two houses that we have lined up so far. Before I have to go, because I have to go soon, load shedding and all that crap. All right, sorry, just logging into WhatsApp here. Okay, there's two properties. Just trying to remember now. Which one was this again? Fuck me. This is the one that we have. Sorry, I'm just trying to remember now. There's one that we have an actual. Which one is it again? But there's one house that we have an application in for already, but now I can't for the life of me fucking remember which one it is. It's definitely not these two. Hold the phone. Hold the fucking phone. I'm looking. Why did I not? I could have sworn I did send her that message, but for some reason I can't find it now. Alright, fuck it. I'll show you this one so long. Let me show you this one so long. Sorry, guys. Alright, so this is a 3-bedroom house in Marina, Gama. This is in False Bay, right? It's Cape Town Peninsula, False Bay. Look at this. Look at this fucking house. Right? This is the yard, by the way. This is the yard that you're sort of... Our yard ends there. Would end there. Yeah? Decent, like, rooms. Doesn't look too bad. There's fiber. This is the view. One of the views, actually. Right? This is this is a lagoon. I believe this connects to the ocean. I believe so. But this is sort of, as you can see here. Trickster, I think so, yes. My favorite nerd. Zentral, how you doing, bro? There's a Yeti, actually. There is a Yeti. You can see here the boats that people use here, right? So there is actually a Yeti where you can park your boat and take it out, I guess, on a Saturday or whatever the fuck, whenever you want, right? But this is sort of like gorgeous, right? This is really fucking beautiful. I could definitely see myself living here, and it would be, I think, quite awesome to live here. Now I need to find the other house, and I can't for the life of fucking me remember. This is the other houses where we now have we have an application in for it. Timothy, thank you for continuing the gifts up, brother. Really appreciate that. Thank you. No, this is the wrong place. Private property. I think it was in Strand. I think it was in the Strand. Think so. Okay, let's see. No, it wasn't the Strand. Where the fuck was this house again? Bro. I know I spoke to this lady. I know I spoke to this lady. And now I can't for the fucking life of me remember where I spoke to this lady. Is it this one? No, it's not this one. Fuck my life, people. How can I not find this fucking house? We have... Oh my... I genuinely have... we have an application in for this house and I can't fucking remember where this house is. Let's see. Oh, for fuck's sake. No, it's fine. It's supposed to be in WhatsApp because this is where I converse with every single one of the estate agents. I converse with them in WhatsApp, but for some reason, I didn't converse with this lady. But how the fuck did I then talk to her? If I didn't converse with her, Sheree, take care of yourself. No. This is a proper property. I just can't remember if it was me. It was me that spoke to her. But where? Did I phone her? Oh, I phoned her. Motherfucker, I phoned her. God damn it, I'm not gonna find this fucking house, bro. I know for a fact I'm not gonna find this house because I phoned her. And that means I didn't actually save the property. So I'm only gonna buy the property if she sends me a fucking link for it. Which I'm assuming she's not gonna do. But I can try. Hold up, I'll just quickly. We'll do a quick search here. Here we go. I was on the wrong site. That's why I couldn't find it. Alright, so this house is a 4-bedroom house in Onverwacht. Right? It's in the Strand. Onverwacht. The only thing that sort of bothers me a little about this house is the rooms seem quite small. This area is rather okay-ish, right? Indoor barbecue area, sort of whatever the fuck that is. Kitchen back there. All this seems fine. Like, I don't have really a problem with that. Onverwacht, yeah. Onverwacht means unexpected. Yeah. Although that's still onverwacht is Dutch, right? We say onverwacht. So you remove the CHT and you just put a G there. Onverwacht. Ik had het niet verwacht nie. Dit was onverwacht. Actually, we say onverwacht, which is just GT. Because we don't have CHT as a sound in Afrikaans. The CH becomes a G. So that was onverwacht. That was onverwacht. Yeah. That like that. Looks super nice. Maybe a little old, so you might have to renew some stuff. I mean, I don't really care about how old it is. It looks fine, right? It's not the worst place, but the rooms are fucking... as you can see here, the rooms are taut. It's taut, brother. They fucking taut. You have 4 bedrooms, but they don't look like they can house very many people. So that's sort of the only thing that puts me off about this house. The rest of it is nice yard, right? Pretty cool yard. Sort of fine views. It's not this house though, right? It's not the same as this house. Let's be fair. If you have to choose between views, this house certainly has the better views, right? Like the other house much better. Same. Oh, well, morning poo. Just forward by this person rooms. Truth. But I like this house. I think this is a really nice house. Plus, it's pet friendly, which is in Cape Town. In Cape Town, that is important. Believe you me. In Cape Town, that is important. This one is 15,000 a month. How much is this one a month? 14,000. One of the things that might push this house over the edge for me is the fact that the deposit on this house is only 1 month deposit versus the deposit on this house, which is 2-month deposit. I don't want to pay a 2-month deposit. Truffle Shuffle Gaming, thank you for doing something. Really appreciate that. 10 months, you motherfucker. Love you, bro. How you doing, brother? Amersfoort? Amersfoort. What the fuck is Amersfoort? But yeah, overall, I would not mind either of these two houses. And the reason I wouldn't mind either of these two houses is both of them are pet friendly. And that truly is the only thing I give a fuck about. Both is pet friendly. Vaisal, most of the time in South Africa, it's 1 month. A lot of the time in Cape Town, however, they go for either 1 month or 1.5 month deposit, right? So basically, what it boils down to is you'll go. In Cape Town, it's usually 1.5 to 2 months deposit. It's very rare to just get 1 month deposit. So basically, you have to pay the 2 month deposit plus then the first month's rent. So it boils down to 3 months. Yeah, you have to drop 3 months worth of money on literally the month that you move in. You have tax deed auctions in South Africa. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Truffle Shuffle. I'm over here on the West Coast, US, Lord. 7 a.m. here. Oh my god, so fucking early. It's 5 p.m. Not come out better, just trying to buy a place. Timothy, yes, that's the plan, right? The plan is to move to Cape Town, yeah, and then within the next 6 months, buy a place. Because I need to get off the Eskom grid. We have to turn off the, I have to go now because it's load shedding soon. And it's annoying. I can't plan anything, right? I can't plan how I work, when I stream. Razor Doom, how you doing, bro? I can't plan shit. Yeah, because so for example, I would like to stream the normal 6 hours that we do at least every day, right? At the very least, I would like to do 6 hours a day. But then you get days like today where my government goes and says, nope, we're turning your power off now. So go fuck yourself. You're like, yeah, but I really need to work. And the government says, no, not our problem. You know, you will not have electricity for the next 2.5 hours. And I say, okay, well, fuck you then. And you can't do shit about it. That's just how it is in South Africa. So I need to buy a house so that I can actually get solar panels up, battery up. That way, when the government says, hey, by the way, we're taking your electricity, I go, fuck you. I don't use your electricity. I use my own. So I don't even notice. The problem is in rental homes, most solar companies are a little bit reluctant to install solar panels in a rental home. Yeah? Because it's a fuck up. Digit, how you doing, brother? It's a fuck up. Because if you need to move, they now have to come in and they basically have to take everything out, reroute all of the power so that it's going back onto the grid. So they don't want to do that. So they prefer if it's done for people that buy the house. That way they know it's there forever. For that, no, Digit, you don't get compensated for shit. I find the whole country, it's awesome. Sucks that the power grid is so fucked that the system has to have that happening. Well, it's South Africa, dude. It's no surprise to anyone that lives in South Africa that this is the way of the world. Solar panels that you can move. Flinderonkies, you could probably try and get those. I haven't heard of anyone willing to do that. I've contacted a couple of companies for this house that we're living in right now. Right? This was 6 months ago where I contacted solar panel companies and I was like, hey, could you guys install solar panels for me? And all of them said, are you the owner of the house? I said, no. And I said, get the owner of the house to install the solar panels instead. And the owner of the house just went, no, I'm not doing that. So, you know, that's the issue. RNL, thank you much for the follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you. Does not give a damn about infrastructure there. They do, but they care more about enriching themselves. So, you know, it's a hard choice, right? Fix the country's electricity, buy a new Mercedes-Benz. I'll buy a Mercedes-Benz this month, and then maybe next month I'll fix the electricity. Good deal. Because remember, my government officials, they don't experience load shedding, right? They don't experience load shedding. All of their homes are probably fully hooked up to solar panels, and I have it on good authority that a friend of mine who lives in Polokwane, literally 3 homes from his house, the minister, the mayor. Yeah, the mayor of Polokwane lives three houses down from him. They have never had load shedding in the entire history of him living there, and he's been living there for about 7 years now. Not a single day have they been without electricity. Mokochil, thank you very much for the Prime sub, dude. Really appreciate that. That's 12 months, you beautiful motherfucker. How you doing, bro? Paying electricity full amount and then having power surges constantly this period of time, you would be obliged to get compensated, like discount or lesser amount of paying electricity bills. No, electricity is going up. It's getting more expensive in South Africa. Like every few months, they're increasing the price of electricity, because according to them, they're not making enough money to do the maintenance and repairs required. So we're effectively we're getting fucked on both ends. You don't have electricity, and when you do, you're paying more for it. It's fun. It's a good life. I'm gonna be honest with all of you. I love it here. This fucking country, dude. I would leave in a heartbeat. I would leave in a fucking heartbeat if it was possible. Energy cost increase is a worldwide stuff right now, I presume? Probably. What's the weather type in SA? Hot as fuck, bonk. Like, just hot. Always. Except Cape Town gets cold as shit. Cape Town actually gets snow. Or the Western Cape gets snow. Whereas the rest of the country is hot as shit most of the time. You could fly to Mexico and cross the border into the US and get 450k. Travel Shuffle, I wouldn't do that. Is it because of COVID, or why can't you leave? Kubajin, it's very difficult for a streamer to leave South Africa to go to another country. Ramnax, how you doing, bro? Remember, I don't have anything to offer any other country, right? Gotta head out for the day. Mr. Nabsy, thank you for hanging out. Dude, really appreciate the care of yourself, man. I don't have anything to offer another country, you know? I don't have any skills that countries need. I basically just stream. Now, one would think that most countries go, okay, you're going to pay taxes and basically take nothing from us? Sure, come on down. Apparently not. Apparently not. Apparently you paying taxes is not something they give a fuck about. Instead, they want you to have some kind of skill that you can offer. And I don't have skills. Unless, of course, talking shit on the internet is a skill. In that case, I'm pretty good at that. Alright, that's nice. Get a wife. Vaisla, I would definitely never do that. I don't respect much in this world. But I do still respect the institution of marriage. Like, for what that's worth, I still respect the institution of marriage. And I would never belittle it to the point where, you know, getting married for a visa. Same here, the taxes on gas is like 3 times the price. That is why I have to pay like 300 euros more. Jesus. Whew. Our petrol is fucking stupidly high at the moment. Aren't you an entertainer, radio talk show host? Isn't that a skill, or at least a profession? Only if I got invited to work at a radio TV show, right? Or a talk show. But as a YouTuber specifically, there's not much I can do. For example, going to the US, I could get into the US on an actor's visa or entertainment visa, but then I need to be able to prove that I'm well known in South Africa. So South African company outlets, media outlets, need to write stories about me. You need to appear at least in one online recognized outlet in a 12-month period in order to even be eligible for the entertainment visa. Stands to reason that no one in South Africa knows I exist, apart from the few South African viewers that I have. Yeah, but the problem in South Africa is that our petrol isn't supposed to be that expensive. My government, like, I think 65% of our entire petrol price is taxes, fees and taxes. Too many YouTubers and influencers as it is. We don't need to let more in. Well, I don't think we're causing trouble, right? It's not like the YouTubers and the Twitch streamers are stealing the jobs of anyone, right? In fact, most YouTubers and Twitch streamers supply jobs to the economy. Because as you grow, you get editors, you get all sorts of people working for you, right? Is in a house and rental company is doing nothing. According to Google, South Africa usually don't go over 30C and you don't go below 10C. Is that correct? Bonk, very much depend on where you live. For example, if you live in the north of the country, right? So where I am now, it's generally like constantly over 30 in summer. Today, for example, was 27. But yesterday, no, actually the last 2 days was pretty cold because it was raining the whole fucking time. But just before that, it was like average 31, 32 degrees Celsius for almost a week and a half. Yeah. And it gets worse. So by January, that's when our real summer starts. So we're still in spring technically now. In January, when the summer actually fucking kicks off, then it's constantly over 30 in the north. But then you go to the south, which is the Cape Town area, and their average temperatures rarely ever goes over 26, 27. Yeah. 26, 27 at most. And again, in winter, it depends on where you are. So in winter, if you're in Cape Town, going into the minus is unheard of. Like you could easily go into the minuses. But then you could go to the coldest town in South Africa, which is, I can't remember the name now. Anyway, fuck it. The coldest town in South Africa in winter time has an average temperature of minus 23. Right? Cesius, thank you for the Prime sub, dude. Really appreciate that. 15 months, you motherfucker. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, Cesius, how far is False Bay from Cape Town? Because it falls under Cape Town, almost as if it's a suburb of Cape Town. Got me there, one sec. Yeah, it's Peninsula False Bay. I don't know why it's called that. No idea. Yeah, because for power lines, heat equals bad, and rain is obviously bad. Cold is usually doesn't affect that much unless it's very humid, as water can form. True, but to be fair, Bonk, the problems in South Africa isn't power lines. The problems in South Africa is bad maintenance. It's the country is like the money that is supposed to go to maintenance is stolen and basically used to get themselves and their friends rich. In the summer, my state can reach 45C with full humidity. Feels like living in Satan's anus. Prometheus, the province that I was born in, Limpopo, which is the most northern province of the country, there's a place there called Musina, right? Musina. Musina is one of the few towns in South Africa, like that region where it's in, where it gets so hot that school has to be cancelled. Like the children can't go to school because it's too dangerous. They usually a couple of days a year will go over 50C just for fucking shits and giggles. My dad was stationed there for military service, and apparently it is fucking stupidly hot when it. Well, I wouldn't want to live in 50C. I would not want to live there. It would kill me. I get way too hot if it's like 25, dude. Like at 25, I'm like, oh my god, this is fucking stupid. Wouldn't want to go any higher than that ever. That's why I'm looking to move to Cape Town. I think that's gonna be good. on the south side. I've been close once. So it's in Cape Town. And I can play when it's 38C in the afternoon and 25C at night. I don't know, where are you from? Only so 41 degrees once in my life. Dude, whenever it goes over 25, it becomes uncomfortable. France can get, like, the south of France can apparently get stupidly hot as well. I would say, personally, yeah, anything over 25 gets uncomfortable. At that point, I'm no longer interested in living there. Like, at least not without an AC. I think when you have an AC, it's sort of fine. Like, who gives a fuck, right? Because I have an AC. I barely deal with the heat outside. The only time I feel the heat is when I'm going down to the kitchen to make coffee, and then I'm right back upstairs. And inside, air-conditioned room, doesn't even notice. Yeah? But then sometimes you have to leave the house. Like, now, I'm going to go to the shop because the power's going out, right? What's the fucking point of being at home? And then it's hot because it's 27 degrees Celsius. I have 2 ACs in my living room. Jesus. Took up Marseille, France, beautiful city. Marseille. It's the east of France? Wait, the east of France is that hot as well? Jesus. Why is France so hot? Shamanita, where I live right now? No. Not that hot. Timmy, how you doing? Where are you now, Akko? Originally from Boksburg, now in the UK. Timmy, I'm in South Africa. I'm in Pretoria. Vas, how you doing? Thank you for the follow, dude. Really appreciate that. By the way, thanks for the first time chat, Timmy. Where in the UK you're about? Good thing. Humidity makes everything so much worse. We're not using an AC at the moment, so not so bad. What's the temperature in Cape Town like at the moment, Celsius? Cape Town is very humid. So where I am now, it only gets humid just before it's going to rain. So you know it's going to rain soon as the humidity starts building and you start feeling very uncomfortable. Otherwise, it's pretty dry heat, so it's not that bad. Cape Town, on the other hand, is on the coast, and I'm assuming stupidly fucking humid in Cape Town. I'm assuming it gets very humid there. So I'm going to just have an AC and just live my life. Oh yeah, Durban, I would never live in Durban. The humidity in Durban is enough to fucking kill you, dude. When I went on holiday, what was this, 2.5 years ago? Something like that. We went to Durban and we were sleeping in a tent. Bro, do you know what it's like to be woken up at 6:30 in the morning with a fucking headache because the heat is unbearable? You're waking up with a headache because you've basically fucking dehydrated during the evening in the tent because it never cools down. Durban does not cool down. It is just always hot. Even in winter, Durban is hot. You're on the north side, pretty livable at the moment. 47% humidity is pretty cool. Shit, digit. 25C, 47% humidity. You're on the north side? Yeah, it's fine. It's cool. The only thing that sucks is it doesn't rain in summer in Cape Town. That sucks a bit. All that heat with no rain. And then in winter, all that cold with more rain to make it even more cold. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I've pushed it long enough. I have to fucking go. I have to go. I have to switch everything off, get everything ready, because think about me when all of you are sitting in your electrified homes, playing on your computers. Remember the third world fucks that will now be starting a fire and maybe go hunt some fucking deer like the cavemen used to do? Because, you know, that's where I live now. That's where I live now. No, I appreciate each and every one of you for coming out, for hanging out with me, for spending your afternoon, your evening, your morning with me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I will see all of you tomorrow again. I haven't had a chance yet to look at the schedule. Let's quickly look at the schedule. What time am I going off tomorrow? Thursday. Is it Thursday? Thursday. Stage 3. Okay, we're going to be starting the stream later tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll start the stream about 2 hours later. No, an hour later than we usually do. And then I'm off again. We should get about 4 hours tomorrow of stream time. We should, if nothing goes wrong. I'll keep you guys updated on Discord anyway, so join the Discord if you haven't already. I'll let you know if something comes up and I can't fucking stream for whatever reason. You never know. But yeah. Promising shit in South Africa just gets me into trouble because I keep going, yeah, I promise we're going to play these games. And then my power goes out and I go, sorry guys, no stream for next week. So fuck those games, I suppose. Also, I'd like to know from all of you, would you want to see me play Death Stranding, or can I just continue playing that offline? Because if you don't care about watching me play Death Stranding, I'm just going to keep fucking playing it offline. Yeah, I can see you later, chat. Take care, everyone. Sounds interesting. Everybody, thank you very much for hanging out, dude. Really appreciate it. Thank you for all of you for hanging out. I want to see it. All right. Maybe we'll make some time for it. Maybe we'll see. I'm probably only next week gonna start playing games again anyway. So we'll figure something out. Even if it is maybe Final Fantasy. We start Final Fantasy and then we switch over, right, to Death Stranding. Whatever the case may be, we'll figure it out. Or maybe we finish Final Fantasy first, and then we can try to do something else. Make a Let's Play channel. Many one we could definitely do that. Why not? We'll see. I'll figure it out, and then we'll see. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you so much for spending your day with me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I love all of you. As always, be kind to each other, be good to each other, and I'm gonna see all of you tomorrow. Peace out, fam.